Hello guys, so today I wanted to record a video on working with duplicated scopes. So in this example I have this video model that has a scope publish, and then it adds the constraint that if the publish at column is before now, the video is published. So the same scope exists in the post model. This is another model. Represents, for example, a blog post, and then we have the exact same duplicated scope. So I'm going to show you one way to do this that is not the way I do it, but it's an option. And then I'm going to show you after that the option I use and that I think is a lot better. So first, for the first option, we're going to create another class. This is going to be an abstract class, so I'm going to create new PHP class, and then here I'm going to write publishable model. Then okay. And then I'm going to write abstract. The reason I'm setting it as abstract is because this class cannot be instantiated. So you cannot create an object from it. It's just to be extended. So here I'm gonna copy the scope. So I'm gonna copy it here, and then in our model, in our post model, we're gonna extend that class. So we're gonna extend that, and we can remove this scope from here, and then we're gonna extend that here, and now we can remove this scope from here. So that makes it so both classes have this scope available, so we can use it in both, and then we don't have that scope duplicated, so we have it in both. Now there's a problem with this approach, and that's why I don't use it. So the problem is we can only extend one class at a time. So for example, I have this other class, and then it's an image class, and then it has this scope that sorts the images by the file size. So if I wanted to add the same scope in the video class, I have two options. So I have the option to copy the scope and then paste it here, but that will make our scope duplicated again, like from the way we started with the other one. The other option is to add it to this publishable model, maybe change the name, but that will make it available in our post model. So we could do that and just make sure never to call that on the post model, but I don't like to do that because maybe in the future I think that is intended to be in that model and I use it by mistake, and it can cause some issues. So and also it feels dirty, it feels bad. So we cannot use that approach with the extending the model. So the next approach, the approach that I usually use, is to create a trait. So for this, I like to create a directory, and here, if you follow Laravel, usually creates a folder with the name concerns. I usually just name it traits, but you can name it whatever you want. And here I can create a new class, and it's going to be a trait. Here I'm gonna name it is publishable. Okay, and then here I'm gonna copy this scope and paste it here. So you can see it's just, instead of class, is a trait, and then we have the scope is publishable. I mean, is published. And then now in our video, instead of extending this model, we're gonna go back to the normal Eloquent model, and here we can use to use a trait is the same that this way. So you can use is publishable, or if you already have the trait the way we have it here, we can do it like this. So the same line, depends on whatever you want to do. So now I need to go to do the same in this model, and then is publishable, and now the scope is going to be available on both models, video and post. So now I can remove this this model, this extra model class that I created, and to add the scope biggest, I can create another scope. So another trait. So we're gonna create a new PHP class, and I'm gonna say has file size. It's gonna be trait, and then here I'm gonna take this scope and paste it here. So now in our image model, I can use has file size and do the same in the video. So has file size. So now our video has two scopes: the publish scope and the biggest sorted by file size. And now in our post, we have just the published scope, and on our image, we have just the file size scope. So this way we can mix and match our scopes to whatever models they fit. And also another thing I like to do, for example, in this has file size, is add everything related trait. So if I have to do another scope regarding file size, or maybe add a getter method or some accessors, I can do it here, and it will be available on both image and video. So that's the way I like to do it. Let me know if you like it or if you do it another way, and I'll see you on the next video.